Good morning, people. Welcome to the Viktor Wilt Show. I hope your morning is going good so far. It's all right. Not too shabby. Could have gotten a little bit more sleep, but that's the usual. Had a pretty good night. Got the kids in town and ended up heading to the mall. Hadn't been to the mall in a while. Doing a little bit of Christmas shopping, and that was all right. And I can only tolerate so much of the mall, but managed to get some cool things, so that was fun. And, then ended up doing some late night running around that was a bit unexpected, but that's okay. Mowed down some Taco Bell, then went, oh, geez, it's late. Time to go to bed. And here I am, doing the show, making it through a Tuesday. We'll crush it down. We'll get it done. Let's see what we got going on online. Oh, yeah. Threads about sleeping. Just what I want to see when I would really enjoy sleeping right now. What's the most annoying sound in the world when you're trying to sleep? Now, I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. I can sleep through a lot. I can fall asleep with noise going on. Sometimes I can fall asleep with the lights on. I mean, you put me in a dark room, it's almost over. I'll just fall asleep middle of the day. Movie theater, that's a dangerous ground for me. Well, let's see if I could sleep through what people are saying are annoying sounds when you're trying to sleep. Oh, geez. Cat doing the about to vomit sound. That will get me out of bed faster than any alarm clock, that's for sure. No! Please don't puke on the carpet. Told the story a little while back about trying to doze off, and next thing I know, Lucy's about to vomit. Jump up, try to get her out of the room as fast as possible, and she just projectile vomits across the entire carpet at like 11 at night. Oh, that was not good. Not good. Nothing worse than when you just want to go to sleep, and then something like that happens. Okay, yeah, can't sleep through that sound. Oh, battery dying in a smoke detector. Doot. Doot. Oh. This thread might get really annoying. What could be worse than those? All right, animals cleaning themselves. I guess it depends how loud. The cat vomit sounds much worse. Mosquitoes buzzing. Yeah. What about if there's a fly in the room? Just flying around. Oh, it's the worst. It's like, can you just land, bro? No, I'll get up and deal with the fly. Mosquitoes buzzing would be probably even worse because I tend to have a bad reaction to mosquito bites. Thumping bass from loud music outside. See, I can tune that out. I can tune that out pretty good. I think it's because, my bedroom's next to my living room, and if the sound system's on, there tends to be some bass. So I've learned how to, just block that out and go to sleep. This person says when they work night shifts, leaf blowers were the worst. I could probably sleep through that. Shut the window. And then, I don't know. I can generally crash out pretty good unless it's the crickets. Last night, I discovered that I think it was my fault. I had left the little plastic lid. There's two portions of the plastic lid on the cricket cage for the crickets that we feed the lizard. And I think it had to have been me, but the little plastic lid was cracked just like a tiny bit, one corner, and a bunch of crickets got out. And me and my daughters were catching crickets. I think we got a lot of them, but I told them I was going to bring them to Shop-Vacs just in case. Hopefully they weren't kept up by cricket sounds. I'll have to take a look when I get home. All right. I'm done looking at articles or threads about sleeping because it just reminds me of what I wish I was doing. So I'm going to continue drinking caffeine, find some other crap to talk about, and we'll get this party, we'll keep this party going. Again, we're going to crush Tuesday. It's going to be over fast. So yesterday, I read a story about a goose, beating the crap out of somebody at a park. And when I saw this next headline, I ended up being disappointed when I read the actual story. Let me read you the headline here. Florida woman faces felony charge after throwing chicken during fight. Immediately, I assumed this is a Florida woman. She threw a chicken at someone. So I had to know more. Well, apparently an argument broke out during dinner. The woman retrieved a kitchen knife, pointed it toward the victim, making contact with her hand without causing cuts. And then, she ended up telling the cops when they showed up she'd been jumped, but they determined, no, she was the aggressor. She had thrown just a piece of chicken at the other woman's face, which started the argument. Now, the article says they don't know if it was raw or cooked chicken, but I'm disappointed that it wasn't an actual chicken. What a bunch of bull crap. Oh, I thought Josh was going to come in here. Just walk by. Where are you going, buddy? What's he doing out there? What's he building out there? I don't know. Hopefully he's not going to retrieve a chicken. I don't know. Maybe he's in a bad mood this morning. Things getting crazy over at Classy 97. The Christmas music has started to cook their brains. You never know. Still a little frustrated. It's only Tuesday, but whatever. We'll crush it down. We'll get through it. And I don't know what's going on down the hall, but Classy is making a bunch of racket. All right. I don't know if they're having guests in studio or something, but the door to the lobby is, right outside my studio. And over and over and over again, just bam, 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 door opening and closing. And I've had a number of DJs who work at K-Bear over the years that would get frustrated when people slam the door. And I'm like, just settle down. It's just the door shutting, okay? Don't get all frustrated about it. It's just a door closing. But this morning, I'm just like, when it was over and over and over again, and there's like nobody here, I'm like, what are you guys doing? All these people walking by. But I think it was just Josh and Chantel over and over again. I don't know what they're doing. I suppose I could wander down there and check it out, but they stopped with their racket. There was all kinds of just noise happening out there. Do I need some more coffee or something? More caffeine? Like, Mah! Get off my lawn! Meh! Stop making so much noise! Meh! Ugh. Just sometimes I'm down with as much noise as possible. Extremely loud music, just blasting racket. Other times, just give me some silence. And apparently this morning is silent time needed in the Viktor Wilt world. Which is funny because I'm sitting in a studio listening to music. But that's not a good door slamming sound, me tapping the mic. It's just getting to me a little bit. Maybe I'll go down there and give them a talking to. Hope nothing's eating at your nerves this morning. I think I probably just, need more caffeine and more sleep. The same complaints I have every day. Went to bed too late. Someday I'll learn my lesson. Someday. Because when it comes to sleep, sometimes there's never enough. So I just shared a video on the in the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal group of a bear that showed up at a Tennessee Christmas parade. Pretty bizarre. People don't seem to be fazed by the bear at all. They're just standing around like, okay, there's a pretty large black bear just walking the streets. Even if it's a black bear, you should stay away from it, okay? I was just watching a video from a circus in, I believe, China, where they had a black bear riding one of those hoverboard things, and apparently bears don't like to ride hoverboards, because eventually the bear gets fed up and just, bam, tackles the trainer to the ground and, just starts clawing and biting the crap out of him in front of terrified audience. The trainer afterward, claimed he wasn't hurt and that the bear that he had raised from the time it was little didn't mean to hurt him. It was just going for a bag of carrots that he had on him. I don't know. It looked like he was going for your face. Looked like he did not enjoy riding, the electric scooters and then finally hoverboard. So, I just got to say, I love another instance of animals fighting back against people. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of the circus. I don't think bears are supposed to ride hoverboards. And, didn't Siegfried and Roy say something similar when, one of those two got attacked by a tiger? Like, no, he was trying to save me. Don't monkey with wild animals, okay? Even if you've trained them, they're still wild animals. And when they snap, they can really mess you up. My cat can really mess me up, and he is a domesticated, sort of normal cat. He's got a little bit of mental issues. He's got some anxiety. I did put a anti-anxiety collar on him yesterday at the suggestion of my daughter. I forgot I even had any of those, but we'll see if it helps him out any. She gave him a catnip toy as well, and he seemed to enjoy that. Hasn't attacked me recently, but he's done it before. So I can't imagine if he was, the size of a bear. Wouldn't be good, even though I've trained him to know what the word treats means, things like that. So just be bear aware, everybody, okay? And don't try to make him ride hoverboards. It's not cute. It might seem entertaining, but I don't know. What's more entertaining? Bear riding a hoverboard or a bear snapping from riding a hoverboard and attacking a trainer at the circus? Depends what type of entertainment you're into, I guess. All right, where shall we begin with today's freak news? The worst drivers in America? Sure. Crazy enough, it's not Utah. No. North Dakota, the worst drivers in the country. But let's talk about the top 10. Looks like a number of them do happen to be right here in our vicinity. Number 2 is actually New Jersey. But then we go to number 3, and Utah does have the third worst drivers in America, according to some kind of study I found online. Is it true? Who knows? But we all can't stand you Utah drivers around here, so I've got to throw you under the bus. 08, Idaho's number 7. We got some bad drivers around here. We do. I see it all the time. People driving like idiots. But we're not as bad as Washington. I'm sure you've heard me complain about driving through the Seattle area. It sucks. It's aggravating. One of the worst amounts of traffic in the entire country, but also terrible drivers. You might be surprised that Seattle or Washington itself even beat out California. California coming in at number 9, known for terrible drivers. No, only number 9. And Montana comes in at number 10. The only states anywhere close to us that are not one of the worst places, apparently, to drive in the country would be Oregon and Wyoming. Wyoming likely because there's nobody there. It's pretty empty. Let's see here. Stuart has been trying to send me links on Facebook, and for some reason, if it's a link to an outside story, Facebook just crashes on me. So I saw the image in his message of this antique pistol, but I wasn't able to bring up the story. Happened to find it elsewhere. A guy robbed a liquor store with an antique gun. All right, if somebody pulled out what kind of gun is this? I mean, it's from the 1800s. I don't know. Employees described it as an old-timey musket. Even if it looks like a gun that probably can't fire because it's so old, I'd still probably hand over the dough. Thankfully, with all the crazy stuff that went down in Burley when I worked there, the store got robbed a few different times, but it was like an overnight break-in. Thankfully, I never had somebody point a gun in my face, which for Burley is pretty dang amazing. So This seems like the type of story that could happen in Burley. Somebody bringing in an antique pistol, give me all the money in the register, and like, dude, come on, there's not that much in here anyway. I don't need this grief. Which is worse, though? Having somebody literally rip the wall off the store you work in the middle of the night during the winter, and then you have to sit there and freeze while they build a temporary wall, or somebody pointing a musket in your face. I don't know. They both sound pretty aggravating. What else do we have here? Scams. Got more scams, and I just wonder how people fall for these things. Like, you got to talk to the old people in your life and help them out a bit. Thankfully, a bank teller, saved a woman from blowing thousands of dollars after noticing signs of a scam. This woman was contacted over the phone. They said she missed jury duty and needed to pay a cash bond to avoid getting arrested. So what they told her to do was go to her bank, withdraw cash, and deposit it into a Bitcoin ATM. I have a feeling that if the court system is demanding money from you for real, you're probably going to go pay that at the courthouse, okay? If somebody asks you to, convert your savings into gold bars and meet them in an alley somewhere and hand it to them, or wire it to them, stick it in a Bitcoin ATM, you might want to call the courthouse and check on your records, okay? See if you have a warrant out for your arrest or if you missed jury duty. Yeah, she got to the bank, tried to get thousands of dollars out, and she's on the phone at the same time with the scammer, and the teller slid her a note saying you're being scammed and wouldn't let her finish the transaction. So at that point, the woman hung up the phone and called the sheriff's office. Thankfully, this bank teller was looking out for you. Yeah, that's when you know you got a good bank. Yeah. A lot of workers out there be like, okay, you want to just take your money out? Sure, just whatever. Please leave. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to get through my workday. Nicely done by that bank teller. But yeah, talk to the old people in your life. These scams are going on all the time. If Brad Pitt messages them, was like, I'm in love with you. Please send me money. I need it real bad. You might want to tell them it's probably not real. All right. It's a little after 8. Hopefully plenty more coming up on the show. It's been a tough news day, but we're making it through. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if you're familiar with Rick Beato. He runs a YouTube channel just talking about all things music, and he recently put out a video asking, where are all the rock and metal bands, and, is rock and metal dead? Basically was the gist of this. And you got to be crazy to think that rock and metal is just dead in 2025. I think this was the biggest year for rock music that I can think of in the entire time I've worked at K-Bear. You have some bands blowing up huge, and these are newer bands. There were not a lot of bands that went to playing huge arenas, during, the mid 2005 to 2015 years. Not a lot of huge superstar acts that came out of nowhere since, the late 90s, early 2000s. And, in the last, just couple of years alone, you have bands like Bad Omens, Sleep Token, Ghost, moving into these huge arenas. Sleep Token's entire tour was sold out in 2025. They're going to be moving into massive venues. Bad Omens playing the Delta Center. I saw them a couple years ago at the Union, Saw them open for Under Oath and Spirit Box just a couple years before that, and we had them in the studio. Now they're headlining the Delta Center. And today I saw that the New York Times announced their list of the best songs of 2025. Not best rock songs, just best songs. Wasn't even going to really glance at it, but it turns out whoever wrote the article decided that Sleep Token's Caramel is the best song of 2025. They put it ahead of songs by, Sabrina Carpenter and Justin Bieber and, all these huge, massive pop stars. Put it ahead of songs by Jelly Roll and, other country superstars. That's pretty wild to me. That's pretty crazy to me. That Sleep Token, because, the first half of that song's pretty dang mellow. But at the end, if you listen to what's going on in the background, it's like straight up black metal. So I was going to check out the entire list at the New York Times website, see what some of the particular tracks that they beat out were, but it's one of these, you got to sign up and give us your email and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do it, all right? I get enough junk in my email as it is. Just kind of note to the news, if you have those kind of restrictions on your website, you're just going to go elsewhere to find the information. So I just did some Googling and found other places where I could read a little bit more about it. But they were all rock and metal sites, so they didn't break down the full list. They were just talking about how cool it was that Sleep Token was at the top. But I've said it for years, and I'll say it again. There will be a time when rock and metal is the biggest genre in the world again. Some of you may be too young to remember the late 90s when, Woodstock, it was like the biggest concert event of the year. The headliners were Limp Bizkit, Korn, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now you look at things like Coachella and stuff like that. It's a bunch of pop and hip-hop acts. That's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. And, with some of these newer bands, maybe they're not everybody's cup of tea, but they're driving the genres forward. So you should be happy for the success of bands like Sleep Token, Bad Omens, Ghost, etc. They're doing great things for the formats, and I think it's pretty awesome that the New York Times would pick a Sleep Token track as its best song of the year. Now, it's not my favorite song on the album. I think there are better songs than that, but it's definitely a big hit song. So, yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool stuff. Morning, Peaches.
Good morning.
It's apparently concert announcement day, huh?
The months of March and May, everybody's wallet is going to deplete.
Yes. Pretty much any band you could imagine coming to Salt Lake City, it would appear.
Yeah, and Boise, too.
And Boise. But what shows did you post today? We had Death Clock with Amon Amarth.
Yes. I'm going to try to say the tour. The Amon Clock Conquest.
Very nice.
I messed up saying it and said some bad word, like right by Andrea's office over there. I was telling Jeff about the tours.
And then you just showed me Bloodywood.
With the Pretty Wild, Ladrones, and Encore.
Nice. And it seemed like there was something else that was announced this morning, too.
Oh, there was Slaughter to Prevail, Whitechapel, and Attila.
That's right. That one, that's a pretty good lineup. Oh, yeah, dude. I might have to go check that one out. Too many shows, man. Too many good shows coming up. Yeah, we need to win that lotto to be able to afford the hotel rooms.
Oh, I know.
Too old to drive back. It's just late driving back after a show. Plus, depending on the time of year, it could be terrible driving conditions.
It helps to have a significant other that has a car, and you'd be like, hey, could you drive us over there?
Yeah.
I'll pay you in gas, quote unquote. And then
there you go.
I don't have any money on me. Maybe next time.
Well, that reminds me, I was going to tell the dudes who are struggling with finding a significant other, they should move to Latvia, Peaches.
Sure.
Yeah. They have a shortage of men there, because apparently in Latvia, dudes don't live very long. They all smoke and eat terrible and die young. So there's a shortage of men to the point where they've started a new industry. It's basically, a handyman, but they just call them hourly husbands.
I did see something. I thought I saw this yesterday, and I thought it was more so like towards something we couldn't talk about on the air.
Yeah, that's what you would think. But no, it's to come over and fix broken appliances and this and that.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, apparently there's almost 2 women for every man.
Nice.
So,
very nice.
If you're struggling in the dating scene, you just got to get over to Latvia.
Yeah, become one of those dudes that all of a sudden goes, this is my Latvian wife. What's it called? Passport boyfriend?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably tougher in this day and age.
Because there's a lot of passport bros. That's what they're called. They fly over to these European countries because they're sick of the woman here in the U.S.
I think I watched a Papa Meat video about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, those guys are pretty cringe, for sure. Kind of seem like a bunch of dirtbags.
Sure.
Passport bros.
No kidding.
But yeah, you know, if you want to go find yourself a lady, Latvia is apparently where it's at. All you got to do is just not die, you know? Don't smoke and try to eat decent. And then, you know, you probably have a pretty good life there.
I was telling people yesterday to go to Siberia because, you know, there's the whole "where's the snow" crowd. I'm like, go to Yakutsk, Siberia, where it's minus 35 degrees right now. It can reach as low as minus 84.
Yeah, move to the Midwest. It sucks every year there. Tons of snow and it's freezing cold. If you love it, move there. As far as I'm concerned, this weather can continue all the way till March.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm totally down.
I don't care if it's windy. That's just fine with me.
You know, we don't have to have a white Christmas.
It's high 50, low of like 35, 40. Oh,
yeah, dude.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was great getting up and coming to work today, aside from the wind. I mean, it was blowing out there pretty good, but, you know, inside my vehicle, it was nice. You just roll the windows up. Wind's not a problem. So, all right. I don't know what we're going to talk about next. It's been a slow news day, lots of digging. We'll find something.
I saw In-N-Out got rid of the number 67 in their system.
Why are people so just whiny about everything? Just like the more you let something like 6-7 bother you, the more kids are going to do it. People get so worked up over the dumbest things. Like, who cares? And people have been laughing at other numbers for many, many years, PJ.
Well, In-N-Out doesn't have the number 69.
I know, which is ridiculous.
Now it goes 66, 68, 70. Why was 6 afraid of 7?
I'll go 7, 8, 9. All right, well, In-N-Out just went down a notch in my book.
Why?
Because
can you imagine you were working there, you have to wear the stupid uniform, the paper hat, and then you go order number 67, and then you get some stupid kid in the back of the restaurant doing the dance on the chair, and you get that all day, every day. They're screaming their heads off. Kids are already annoying as it is.
Hey,
but the second you trigger a meme in their head, 6-7.
Hey, dude,
throw the burger at them.
If having to yell out numbers is part of your job, just do it. It's like when hotels don't have a 13th floor. Everybody knows what the 14th floor is. It's the 13th floor. They just don't put it, they don't number it that way.
The most annoying thing,
superstition,
though, is not the kids doing the whole 6-7 thing in and out. It's when you have that fat, greasy customer that goes up to the counter and complains about their fries, but they're eating their fries. They'll say something like, these fries are cold, mwah, 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 and they'll just stare at you until you get them hot fries.
You can't complain about fries at In-N-Out because everyone knows they have the worst fries.
Yeah, true.
So there's no point in complaining about them. If you want good fries, you go somewhere else. You go to In-N-Out for the burgers, not for the fries. Their fries are trash, all right?
I got to say the Culver's fries are the best.
Culver has pretty good fries, for
those
sure.
Crinkle cut? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Culver sounds pretty good. That's where my kids went to lunch yesterday. I was like, oh, jealous.
I know.
Jealous.
Aubrey got me leftovers, and I'm just like, do I want to go to Culver's today or eat the leftovers from yesterday?
And then we ended up having Taco Bell again, which I did not bring my Taco Bell leftovers today. I forgot. But, yeah, Taco Bell. I would have rather had Culver's, for sure. But Culver's,
I rotate.
It's so far away from my house, Plus, I think they were probably closed by the time we finally got Taco Bell. So,
well, that's the dumb thing about Culver's is that they say they're open till midnight, but the second it hits 10 p.m., they lock the doors and they go to drive-through only.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were open till midnight.
So, like after a concert or a Spud Kings game, you can't go into Culver's.
Oh, you just got to sit there and deal with the line, huh?
You got to go to the drive-through.
Yeah, we need more fast food right there near the arena, right there along Snake River Landing. Let's just develop the crap out of it. Come on, bring in more business. All right.
But we already have a Cafe Rio, Victor.
All right. No, Chipotle's coming. Well, many of us are officially old, according to Gen Z. And it's all based on our email addresses. Yeah, apparently, if your email address is your first and last name at blank, you're old. And I guess it's baffling to Gen Z. How do you get that email address? And then you go, well, actually, I am old. I was around when Gmail was created. Man, there are a lot of things that pop up that just make me a little bit crazy. You know, like, how did I get old so fast? You see, blank video game pops up 35 years ago on this day. You're like, what? That the math doesn't add up. That couldn't be right. Google it. Yes, it is. I just want to let you younger folks know it's going to happen to you. So don't rub it in, okay? One of these days, you're going to be like hearing your favorite band on classic rock radio going, what do you mean? What do you mean? This is oldies now? You got to be kidding me. Well, that's all right. There's worse things than getting old. I mean, I'm not going to just start laying out horrible things, okay? It's Tuesday morning. Don't need to start talking about the horrors of the world, but maybe I need some coffee. I'm feeling old because I'm like, I could use a nap right now. Naps are something that I never considered when I was younger. And now I do consider it, but then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to wake up at the time I need to go to bed because I need to go to bed early because I have to wake up early like an old person. All right, just babbling. Morning show went by at a decent pace. I'm happy about that. I hope your morning's going well. And I hope there aren't too many crickets running around my house. Last night when my girls got in, very, excited to have them around and hang out. Haven't seen them in a while. And there's a lot of new critters at my house. I was like, do you guys want to see the gecko? Let's go check him out. Let's go give him some food. So we go up to the room and girls spot a cricket on the loose. Like, that's kind of weird. How did that get out? Then you start seeing more crickets. And more crickets. And somehow, I don't know if it was me, but it seems likely it was me. Just a little cricket cage. One little tiny corner of it was not closed all the way. And the crickets, they're just on the loose everywhere in the house now. I was warned this would happen. Everybody I know who's owned some kind of a lizard or something, they're like, dude, just wait till you start hearing cricket sounds around the house. I'm like, no, I keep a good eye on them. They're not getting out. They're not going to escape. Jinxed myself. Yeah, and apparently crickets move throughout the whole house. Because my girlfriend was finding them in the bathroom. Great. On the main floor. Really far from where they originally escaped. I mean, at least it's not spiders or cockroaches. A number of people have suggested, oh, you should feed them some cockroaches. They're a lot more affordable and supposedly they don't escape. Dude, we've had this thing for what, like a month and a half? If that. I don't think it's even been that. I think it's been about a month. And I already got crickets all over the place. Bugs. I mean, we were doing our best to catch them last night, but when you buy like 30 at a time and who knows how many get out, it's like going to be finding crickets all over the place. Hopefully they don't reproduce. Hopefully they just die. All right, sorry, it's not very nice of me to say. They're just being crickets, but still, bugs. Note! If you're going to buy someone a pet, ask their parents first. Some people might not want bugs living in their house. I like the lizard, he's cool, but still. I don't like crickets everywhere. So that's what I got to deal with when I get out of here. A little bit of cricket mayhem, and then hopefully relaxing with the kids, watch some TV. We went to the mall last night. I think that was enough shopping for today. I think it's a nice day to just eat some food, kick back, and watch a movie or something like that. Hopefully they're in the mood to be lazy. I mean, they're in their early 20s. They should be. I certainly didn't mind being lazy at that age. Wish me luck, people. Now I got to get out of here and do some tedious, boring computer work. Yay. But I hope the rest of your day is packed with excitement and fun, and I appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with me. And yeah, hopefully it's a good Tuesday that goes by quickly for you. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.